So this is part 2 of the hip hinge. So we talked about from the side, we don't want that spine tilted forward. We tighten up the glutes, we level that out. We had that golf club in the crease of our hip joint to identify where that hip joint is. It's down here. And what we were working on is we were pushing back into that crease, feeling the hips move back, and then pushing forward into that club so the hips move forward. Second piece of this is now I want you to take that golf club, because you've identified where your hips are. You're gonna take that golf club and put it across your back, okay? The top of the club is on your head. My hand is in my low back. So when I tighten up my stomach, I'm gonna feel that gap compress. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna push the hips straight back. But as we do that, we're gonna feel our upper back staying in line with this golf club. Now, as I do that, I'm not arching my low back. See, now you can see space in there. I want that low back against there, so that means we have to keep the tension there. And from here, we're gonna push those hips back and tip forward. So you see where I'm bending through my hip joint, I'm driving my hips back, the weight is now on my heels, my knees are slightly bent. From here, I'm gonna push my hips forward and my shoulders are gonna come up. What you have to understand is that the hips and shoulders move dependently of each other. What I mean by that is we don't push the hips back and keep the shoulders up, or we don't try to round the shoulders down. The driver is the hips, okay? So if you look from the side, the hips are the driver. If we push the hips back, the shoulders are just gonna follow our hips. At no point am I trying to pull my shoulders up or down. I'm using my hips. Drive my hips forward, my shoulders pop up. When I push my hips back, my shoulders lead. So what it would look like is if I put this in front of my body, I'm gonna tighten up my glutes and core, I'm gonna drive my hips back, I'm gonna slide this pole down my legs, my back is flat from here, I'm driving my hips forward, standing up, and I'm in my standing posture. This is why standing posture is important. Drive those hips back, keeping my back flat, you see how straight my back is, drive my hips forward, stand up. That's our hip hinge. Master that motion before you move on to the next piece.